What it do, people? What it do? What is crack-a-lacking? All right, let me turn this down. All right, so here's what's going to happen. Today is the Q&A day. So I want to start out by queuing you a Q that can help us get to some A's. So let me go ahead and posit this on the screen. And while I posit this on the screen, y'all can get your Q's ready and then we can A them. How about that? How about that? Okay, so let me drop this right here. The question of the day, QOTD. Yeah, that is a good QOTD. Let's make it cute because, Doc here. You know what? Move that over here where you can see better. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then bingo. There's the question of today. All right, so that is the question, and then we're going to formulate some answers. In the meantime and in between time, what I'm going to do is for the member type folks in the group, I'm going to do something crazy today. I am going to open up a window of Zoom so that anybody that feels like they are ready, they got questions and they want to pop on the Zoom to get the question answered, all I'm going to request, if you want to come into the Zoom side, is that A, you wear headphones, and B, that's it. Like, turn off your speakers and wear headphones, because I don't want to initially start out all of my Zooming with fighting fights. Okay, so let's pop in a live demo so you can see how we set up Zoom. Alrighty then. All right, so what is up, Wendy? Good to see you here. All right, so as you know, people who are brand new around here. Oh, yes, thank you, Paul. I forgot that part. And turn on your camera. Nobody want to talk to the sound of your avatar. This is silly. All right, so let me, listen. Select overlay new. We want this one. Bingo. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, let's create a new meeting. Boom. And it does that. Bingo. It says recording in progress. And so now I have a new meeting there. And then I'm going to click on participation and copy the invite link. Boom. Boom. Mark, I don't know what bad hair day is. Explain that to me. All right. Explain bad hair day to me. You wanna come into Zoom. Boom. Just ask the question, Wendy. You just asked the question. And then you can pop into Zoom. You're cute. You're always cute. You can just roll into Zoom if you wish. Anyway, that's all set up. So we're good to go. I can pop out of live demo mode at this moment in time. And then that way, this is something new we're going to try today, just to give people an opportunity. And then at the same time, I can show those who are Zoom scared how to do the new Ecamm for Zoom integration. That's how simple it is. I just press the start the meeting and call it a day. I could have pre-scheduled this meeting, and in that interface where you saw the several icons, the bottom one was like go to schedule events. I could have just pulled that up, and that would just pop up. Boom. Wendy is coming through. Look at that. Look, she just popped right in. See, you got to love the folks who are ready to do this here thing. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to invent, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do this, just so you can see. I'm going to invent a brand new scene, right, while we wait for Wendy to camera herself and get ready. And then I'm going to, put a camera over here. Boom, that will be me. And then I'm going to duplicate this camera, because that's what I do. Pop this over here like such. And then I'm going to say add. You get a little warning. Now, Wendy, you're going to get a warning that I am live streaming because, well, I am. Normally I'm not, but in this case I am, which is kind of funny. And then I'm gonna apply that to guest one, and then in guest one it's right there. And then when she's ready, I'll just add her to this, and then we'll call it a day. All right. So back to here, and let's get it started. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So anyone who is ready, you can do your thing. And I agree with Kevin. Mark, if you got bad hair, find a hat. Find a hat. I don't have bad hair days. I don't know what that is. That doesn't make any sense to me. I haven't had those for going on 20 years. How you doing, Lisa? Good to see you here. Paul is reminding you that if you have a question, format it in the format of a question. Otherwise, it's kind of hard for us to tell that you're questioning. You know what I mean? And then I will also pop up the old Zoom chatters here. What is up, Johnny? So, Paul, if you can pin that Zoom link for anyone who wants to pop on and ask their questions in real life. But yeah, it is all is English. It is often a very curious question as to what it is that gets you stuck. And sometimes, this is the key, sometimes just vocalizing it can begin the unstuck process. I think oftentimes we are stuck and we will tell ourselves we don't know why, because I don't know why is very convenient. And I'm not saying you're doing convenient, for the sake of like us dudes throwing socks under the couch. I mean, it's just convenient because taking the time to stop and figure it out means you have to face the facts, right? So oftentimes we will put ourselves in a position where we get stuck and then we stay stuck because we don't properly ask ourselves what it is that has us stuck. Now, something I never really thought about in my quote unquote being stuck, Mary Lou challenged us this week to just put out something that absolutely sucks and don't even think about it. Like you're going to create this and it's going to suck and you're going to put it out anyway and you're not going to think anything about it. And I know that I should be above and beyond reproach when it comes to this, but I still oftentimes I will have a thought and I'll be out and about and I'll wait until I get back to the studio to record it because this is my happy spot. Well, some of y'all see me pissed off over here, so not always happy, but this is my happy place, right? And at this point, it's why not just create it when you're out, And I think it's the discomfort of still basically recording things in the middle of the street. Now, if I'm somewhere where no one knows me, that's a whole different process. But when I'm at home, I won't say everybody, but a large portion of the people on this island know me. But that's because of my many years of radio and TV. So there's an expectation if I'm recording something out in the public, I'm recording something professional, right? Because that's what I did, and that's what most people know me from. Many of these people have seen me professionally do this stuff, and then all of a sudden, I'm out in the street recording something dirty. Just doesn't make sense. All right, so let me look at Wendy's question. Wendy, you can pop on if you're there. I know you're in the car, which makes this a little challenging, but you can pop on if you're there. All right, let me show you guys. So this is so cool, right? So Wendy is here. I added my homie to the chat, and all I can do is boom, pop her in there. Wait, let me look at the car. Okay, you're on the passenger side, right? All right, let's see. You can unmute yourself. There you go. I'm like, man, if you're driving and having this conversation, you're going to get both of us thrown in jail.
Well, I was like, I am not missing today. And my son needed to go back to school. And I was like, you're going to have to drive. So I could meet with Doc Rock. So
Nice. Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
Okay, so you helped me with Ecamm LinkedIn Live. And the problem is when I went to go and do it, is I did pull up two screens, one for, to put the LinkedIn Live in my browser so that I could have, the audience links in so I could see their questions and comments, which made sense. And what I first did was create an event in LinkedIn, and then I had connected Ecamm with LinkedIn. So when I go to the second screen, I would click on the Ecamm Live icon, and then I would click the event, and then is that all I have to do? And then that pulls up my live and I start talking?
Well, in theory, yes, but don't create the event in LinkedIn. Create the event in Ecamm. I don't think that
Okay.
when you create the event in LinkedIn, Ecamm's supposed to grab it, but LinkedIn is weird because it's Microsoft. I mean, we know how they behave. So create the event in LinkedIn Ecamm. So this is gonna be hard to see on your little screen. Wait, don't do that. So when I'm here, normally where this says finish, there's an icon that says new, and you press that.
Mhm.
And then when that little
Okay.
box pops up, and if you have two screens, sometimes it pops up on the other screen, which totally messes me up because I'm looking for the box and it's not there, but it's over here. So when the box pops up, you're going to see where you want to create the new event too. So you might have it set for
Okay.
YouTube or Facebook or something. Just click the plus sign and add LinkedIn there. And you just type in all the form. It's exactly the same form. What is the name of the event? When you want to start? What's the description? And a place for the thumbnail. If you create the event in Ecamm, it's guaranteed there. Like we
Okay.
literally do this every Monday. Yes, Monday for ENN. It's supposed to work when you create it in LinkedIn, and all you have to do is make sure that you're signed into LinkedIn and Ecamm. And if for some reason it doesn't bite, there is the ability to reconnect LinkedIn from inside of Ecamm. So under in your preferences, normally on your main screen is there, but in preferences there is a area called destinations. And let me zoom this in since it'd be hard for you to see. So in this area of destinations, you see I have LinkedIn down here. If you say add a new
Yes.
destination and click on the N and say you make
Okay.
sure you're going to your profile or your organization, whichever you're trying to do as well. So it knows that
Okay.
I have the Ecamm organization and my personal profile. So you have to select which is which. I already have my profile in here, so I would just select organization in this case, and it's going to ask me to log in, and I use one password, so I'll let that login thing. Oh, you want to be weird? Let that password pop in, and it's not catching. Why you want to be weird like that? All right, maybe it knows that I'm live. Anyway, you would put in your email and your password there, and then it will bring up Ecamm organization if I wanted to stream to Ecamm. So just check in your preferences that your LinkedIn destination is there. If you've already done it and it's not biting, just delete that destination by pressing the trash can and add it back. And oftentimes that'll work. So that should be all you
Okay.
need to do.
And that it's that simple. It's just click on icon and then create the event there, go
Yes.
live,
Yes.
and it's literally like that easy.
Yep. I always create my
Okay.
events, and even for my YouTube live streams, I create them in Ecamm. When Facebook used to let us stream to it, I would create them in Ecamm. It's just easier to me because you have that single page and you're just there. Wait, are you guys stopping at Smashburger? Can you guys give me a double with no onions?
No, I'm just dropping my son off at UCLA. He's going back to take some finals.
Oh, there you go. Good luck. Good luck. Study
Okay,
hard.
I have one more
Yeah.
question regarding that is how come, like, in Zoom you can see who's there? How come with LinkedIn Lives you can't see who you're talking to? And I think that's really making me feel weird because, like, with Zoom I can always see, oh, there's this many people on here and I can see them, or they black out their face but I know they're there. But with LinkedIn Live you just don't know how many people are there.
Yeah. The answer to that question is Microsoft. That's them. That's not us. Trust me. If it was up to us, it would work. We have been trying to get them to give us comment integration for going on 4 years. We've done all of the checks. We've done all of the legal work, all of the forms, the whole 9 yards. They still haven't connected it. And so that's why me personally, I don't stream to them anymore because I'm not going to keep bringing you my good macaroni and cheese. And when I come to your house, you offer me a sandwich.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. And when do you do this again? You do this on
Tuesday,
Saturdays,
Saturday.
and what's
Tuesday,
the other day?
Saturday, same time.
Tuesday 11 and Saturday. Okay, so I'm gonna try it. I was gonna try it on Tuesdays, but I'm gonna try it today later on just to see if I can do this right. And bye guys. I'm just thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
Oh,
Thank you. Yes.
Actually, one more question. You told me to get a microphone for my ear, and I couldn't remember what mic you said I should get for my ears.
Oh, the
Like it was a plug,
IEMs.
ear plug.
Yeah, it's Paul will put the link in the chat. It's basically docrock.live/IEMS, and it's basically these little guys. And then you just hide it with your hair. I can't hide mine. Everybody gets to see mine. But you just hide it with your hair, put the cord in the back, and no one will even know you're wearing them.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Paul is Mr. Moderator, the Paul Duncan. He will drop the link in the chat because he has it on his stream. Look, that quick. He has it on his stream deck. I haven't put it on my stream deck yet, Paul. Why am I dumb?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one. All right, see how cool that is, right? This new Ecamm integration allows us to just take someone and add them to the Zoom. Let's add Aubrey in here just to say hi to her because that's our homie. So again, all I need to do is turn this into a placeholder camera. I drop Aubrey onto guest, not desk. Drop her onto guest 2. Let's not drop Aubrey on the desk. And then boom, that's me. That's Aubrey. What's up, Aubs?
Hey, how are y'all?
How are you?
I'm well, my feet hit the floor. I'm alive. I'm great.
Good. So you just wanted to hang or you got a question?
Oh, sorry. I was just hanging.
That's cool. Listen, you can stay here and be my friend. Let's answer this question. It says, how are overlays for broadcast live streams made, especially ones used by news channel? All right, so let me go over here to the Chrome and let's pick news. Let's do ESPN. No, I want to go to YouTube first. Hold on. Go to YouTube. Boom.
Hey.
Boom.
Do you want me to just
Kevin said, Aubrey, are you excited for Doc Pops yet? Here, let's do this. Let's make it Aubrey oriented. Bam.
I'm like, yes, thank you.
Now we're Aubrey ready.
I'm like, I'm holding hostage I got him some cool socks. But I'm like, I was gonna send him. No. I wait until he hands me my
yes.
green.
I am going to see you in like less than 2 weeks. Well, I take off here on the 1st, but I land there on the 2nd because of, the overlay and whatnot. I have to fly all the way to Boston and then sit in Boston for 4 hours and then come to Atlanta. So I get in Atlanta at almost midnight, but I'll be close enough to you to create some sort of trouble. All right, let's see.
Oh, I'm like, trouble. I want you and Paula to meet. I'm like, you're the same person, except not. I'm like, so I'm excited. I may be the one recording you.
No. I don't know, Mark. All you gotta do is copy the YouTube link and paste it. Of course, you're going to get a redirect link because of the way YouTube is, but you copy the YouTube link with your mouse and you paste it into the browser yourself, and then you scrub all the redirect info, and then it's not there. When you click it from inside of a YouTube browser, it's going to run through redirects because it's checking to make sure that you don't get spam oriented. Let's see. I'm looking. See, this one, they're kind of at a desk, so their overlays are pretty boring. That was not going to work. That show's not going to work. Let me pick a different show. Wow, my brain is stuck. TNT, NBA, Finals. What's this? It's NBA Live. That's the name of the show. Bang. Let's go. All right. So let's do that. Anyway, you just the answer to the question is you make them in your favorite app. I personally use Adobe Express. You can do them in Canva. Like, I guess the better question is what app do you use to create graphics? That'll make this easier because I'll do it in your app if I have it. My brain is hurting today. Why? Emma and I stayed up late watching Inside Out again. We stayed up late watching Inside Out because the new version is coming out next week. Yeah,
I got to catch up too.
yeah. If that show is really good. That's literally one of my favorite animated movies. Dude, why is it not here?
Can
You
I
know
just
what?
say again, you look fabulous. That green mic. Oh,
Thank you,
poppers.
Kevin. That is a good one. Kevin came correct. PTIESPN. There you go. That is a good one, Kevin.
Yep.
Bam. Super, super simple. What is the most current PTI? Let's go to ESPN. Don't do that. I hate Pat McAfee. I want to punch him in the face. Does that mean that I hate Pat McAfee?
I don't remember who he is. Oh wait, is he some quarterback or something?
Well, he's a jerk.
They had 44 at halftime.
All right,
Oh, there you
bam.
go.
There you go. All right, so I got one. All right, let's come over here. I'm gonna go to live demo mode again. And first, pop back over here to the old Zoom situation. And move this out the way. Boom. Enter the troublemaker himself. All right. That means that I hate. What do you mean static ones? They're all going to be static unless you're going to spend a couple $1 million on a good. Let me just adjust this real quick.
Oh,
Any graphics that you make for, if you want that level of broadcast graphics, you're not going to make this in Canva. You're not going to make this in Adobe Express. You're going to have to go get a After Effects person that works full time and a downstream keyer, like my brother said, and you're going to spend a couple $1,000,000. So what we do is we pretend and we make them semi unstatic, and then we work with what we got. Because yeah, you could absolutely make it the way you're thinking, but I guarantee you're not trying to spend that money for a YouTube show. I'm just saying, it's not even the YouTube shows that you see that do that. They're on the old school. Yo, this joint right here costs paper. So, yeah, just make sure you get your expectations correct. That's the reason why broadcast is still broadcasting. YouTube is still YouTube. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my browser for 16. Actually, let me make this seeable. I'm going to come here, do that. I'm going to move this browser window in. And just to make life good, I'm going to set the browser to 16:9. So I have a plugin that I use called Window Resizer. And then I'm going to hit 1920x1080. Okay, that way I know I'm getting sort of the right window size. And even still, this is going to be a little bit off, but it's easier. So then I'm going to hit my screen capture, and then I'm going to put my little cursor up here in the corner, and then pull this down here and get somewhere in that ballpark. It's not going to be exactly correct, but it's there, right? And again, I can readjust this on the fly. So now I have a picture. So I can move this guy out the way, and then create a new scene, and then bring this guy back in the front, and then drop this image in. Bam. Hold down the Option and Shift key and use my scroll wheel a little bit to dumb that down. Wendy, you can ask whatever you want. You are the boss this week. All right, so let's move Wendy out the way. So I just go to my shape tools and I grab a shape and I start building, right? So I can take this. Now this is going to be built basically all inside of Ecamm, but you can build these in Canva. You can build them in Adobe Express, like whatever. So there's that box there. Actually, I'm going to take this box all the way across, right? And again, I'm going to use the shift thing to kind of dumb it up a little bit. I know this is the right shape, so I'm going to pull this up to make a copy and squeeze this one in and put it here, and then line it up again. And then I'm going to change this to a different color. Select, hit my color wheel, colors. Where my crayons go? I knew it. Every time, gang, every time. It puts it on the opposite window. I'm going to go to LGL palette, take the darker color, and then call that a day. All right, so now I got these two, right? And again, I can bring it back to full doohickey, right? Then I can take this same Ludlin right here, pull it up here, stack it on top of that stupid word, the wolves, that nobody's thought they could step. You know what I'm saying? Bam. Right? And I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to select a different color for these, right? Come over here and let's just follow the ESPN and throw in the red. I'll use a darker red. It's better for this. Pull this down just a smidge and then hold down the space bar and just bring them down. Bam. So that is copied, right? Pull this one up. Click on this here. Wait, that one kind of moved. Click on this here just to change the color. And boom, my crowns again. Let's put this one at this color. Bingo. Take this one more up. Lock it in place. Click on that. Select another color. Bingo. And then take this one and pop it up. And then click on that. Go for the dark color again. Bingo. And then now we're square. So now we are building. We are building like a boss. We basically have this whole layout. So let's go get some words for this particular show. I want to build text boxes with no backgrounds. So I'm going to say edit the background, 0, beat it. Margin, negative. Border color, none. Border width, 0. Corner radius, 0. And then let's go use some words. Boom. All right, we're going to pick the one and only. Find that kind of sort of fits. Let's look for the bottom of this box. All right, we're going to call that a lineup right there. Actually, I do want to add a little bit of text margin just because of safety. So let me embiggen this a minute. I'm going to go 6. And then check the bottom of the box. All right, that's good. And then I can expand this box to about there so I know what my margin is. I like to leave a little space. And then all I got to do, pull this one down, start to line up my next box.
What is it?
Aubrey's making fun of me. Let's do this. Boom, boom, boom. All right. And then so you would basically go down the list and you would just add your next ones here and you would just kind of keep it coming. Keep coming. Right? Like literally, this is all there is to it. Let's call it that. I don't know if you have to put the, wait, that's how you do it. You know what I mean? So you just go ahead and you put your stuff and you would just build your list. And then once you're done, hold the Shift Option key, put this back. And actually, let's use this as a headline. So let me pull this back down to slightly that, bring this down about right here and embiggen it about like that. And then hold the Option key. That was the wrong key. That's where we're at for that size. Realizing that we can go this big. And then let me grab one more quick text box here. and edit the text. Go like that. Slap an emoji. Get a finger. Boom. Save. Shrink this. Embiggen that. Okay, I can't do the same size finger, but you know what it is. That's as big as I can get in the finger department. I mean, you could use an icon, or you can go get an image, and then you'll be good to go. But yeah, basically, there it is. I mean, like, you could build this in a matter of seconds just in Ecamm. It would be faster if you did it in Canva or something of that nature, but you're good to go. Now, the best you can do for animations is set it up over here, pick zoom real quick, go to transition, and say fly in from the left. Boom. And that way, when you toggle this one on and off, right, when you're ready for that, when you toggle that graphic on and you start that scene, it would fly in. You could do that. But if you want full-fledged, cute, like broadcast animations, you're going to have to bring a heck of a lot of money to the table in order to get that cute. For what? I do have to ask. I must always ask this question: for what? Like, what is your audience going to get out of your ability to make things spin on the screen? How much value does that spinning title add to your audience's life? That is the key question. Most people want to do this because it gives them a Woodrow, and that, minor pride erection makes you think your show is cool. But if your show is cool and your ability to spit game is not, you're just a person that bought a dope Porsche that can't drive. So before I got to dope graphics, I would be dope. I would be dope AF, right? And so I don't even put those graphics at all because I am dope. So I don't need them. It's not going to elevate my pride. It's not going to elevate what you get out of this. So I get why people want to do it. They do it so that somebody else can look at their show and go, hey, this is cool. Anyway, on YouTube, for YouTube Live, do you use Ecamm? Yes, I'm born and raised. And you can see people on Zoom? No. I can see people in the chat, but I don't see their faces physically unless I do what I did today, which is add Zoom, which only came out on Tuesday. We just added the Zoom integration on Tuesday. So prior to that, it was always talking to the air. But then now we can actually put them in Zoom and things like that. All right, Gretchen or Mark, either you guys have a question that you want to be on the screen, or you're just coming to kick it in the Zoom? Hi,
Joining
Gretchen.
you.
Okay, let's go. Let's see.
Yeah.
Flo, good to see you. There you go. Do what Paul said. Hire a dope designer. The internet and bandwidth in relationship to the limitations of encoding codecs keep motion down to a minimum is beneficial. 100% as well. So what my brother is telling you, let me show you this, because today I actually have the ability to show you this. I am going to, you got to specify which Paul, Duncan, because we mean Dixon, not you, right? All right, so we're going to pop this on. I'm going to pop in my little big head, and then I'm going to move my little big head out the way, and then I'm going to hit a screen share overlay like such. I'm going to put that right here and embiggen it to about X embigged, and then I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go to Ecamm and then select bandwidth and statistics. All right. So currently right now, to stream this show in 4K, I believe, if I set myself correctly. Oh, no, today I said 1080. That was dumb. Anyway, to stream this show in 1080, it's using just under 4 megabits per second. Okay. Now, if I were to snatch an animation somewhere, let me go into my little back end and pull up an animated graphic and go to my Ecamm Media Library, LGL. I'm just going to do the animation and try to eliminate the sound, but I'm going to put this on screen here, and I'm gonna add it as an animated overlay, and I'm gonna just let that play and look at the bandwidth shoot up, right? The bandwidth immediately went from under 4 to over 6. Okay? Just because I added a bunch of motion and Paul doesn't feel any better, Aubrey doesn't feel any better, Gretchen doesn't feel any better, like they feel exactly the way they felt. I did not get 1 second doper. I am still as dope AF. Let me go to green screen, just make those folks disappear and put these people on loop. And then now they're down here, they're doing their thing. And then let's embiggen it so that, you know, they'll be scaled properly, right? And then look at my bandwidth now, right? You could literally see, oh wait, I did something dumb. I put them in front of bandwidth and statistics. Let's drop them underneath bandwidth statistics. You can literally see the spike in the bandwidth. Like now that they're hiding behind this still graphic, it went down again. But if I move this so you can see more of them folk, the more folk, the more bandwidth, right? So again, like, what are we trying to prove? What are we now? Here's the thing. Notice this. This is how cool this is. Now the system, wrap your head around this thought, people. Now the system understands this pattern is looping. So it doesn't have to draw as many because it knows where these pixels are moving. So it can do predictions. That's what encoders do. They do predictions as to what pixels are going to move and what pixels are not going to move. And so with these predictions now figured out, they can make it smaller. You know what I'm saying? But the idea of constantly adding animations, for what? Again, I'm going to just bring it up for what? It serves no purpose other than to give you a small, pride erection. And you know what it is, dudes. They good for like 2-3 minutes. Y'all catch that joke in a second. Boom. Glenda said, blah, 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 with the Zoom integration, can you show your entire Zoom gallery of followers? No. And you don't want to. I mean, looking at my current Zoom gallery, never mind. Listen, you always can show your Zoom gallery, people. That has nothing to do with anything. I'll do it right now. Everybody make sure you're smiling because you're about to be on TV. Press this pencil here, go to Zoom, and then do the, what am I trying to do? What is the name of this window called? That. So you can always show your gallery. Just do it. Like, you don't need that feature. You don't need that feature. You've always been able to do this. Everybody's like, when are you going to add it so you can see the whole gallery? Just do the screen share. Like, you guys be looking for complicated. Just do. See, Stevie know what's up. Stevie didn't let me finish my damn sentence. He know what's up. Like, really, you've always been able to do this. Oh, I know what I was supposed to do that I forgot. Thank you, gang. Daniel and Neil said spotlight. Ooh, don't do that. That was dumb. Why let Daniel and Neil tell me to do that? Well, I guess normally it's not a problem. Okay. Yes, when you make 100% because it added more to the dancing, right? It's really funny, but yeah. Putting the weird animation there for no reason is what it is. Let's do something crazy and let's see what Gangsta Grandma got to say. Yeah. I'm going to put her over here and then boom. What's up, Gretch? You got to unmute yourself. And what are you drawing? She's still muted. See what I mean? This is why you can't have old people on your show.
Whoa.
Oh, really?
It's still, oh, you have the same problem as Paul had. Okay, so in your thing, what you want to do is you want to check and make sure that you're not set for system setting. Make sure in Ecamm for Zoom or Zoom, whichever, make sure you have it actually by the actual mic. The system setting one doesn't always work. Mark, what's cracking?
Yeah, I'm cracking a lot. So left corner, mic settings in your Zoom, change your settings there, Gretchen. That might help. It's different from the system audio.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what you're trying to say, Doc?
Exactly. Because what happens
Oh,
when
yeah,
you
well.
select system audio, sometimes another program will switch it for you. And
Yep.
you know what I really noticed is when I have Logic open, because Logic is concerned about what the audio
Yes.
devices is. And every time you open
Oh.
another program, if it tries to
Yes.
change or add an audio device, Logic will say, hey, the system has detected a new audio device. Discord
It
also
will get
does this.
even worse when you open your DJ app.
Yes,
Like
because it
from
has like a lot.
algorithm, because you have plethora of inputs and outputs that you can allocate to your interface.
Yep. Every time I open the DJ app and Discord is open, Discord has a conundrum. Discord goes, "What's up?" Well, it's good to see you, Mark. Mark is always in the chat, hanging out with us. What are you working on currently?
Well, still on my autism.
I meant for your show, man. I'm not listening to Mark.
Oh, well, I am figuring out the Zoom integration, and
That's cool.
this is a good exercise. So thank you for that, Doc. And I also have the whole what do you call it? The local area network, working with my fiber switches and all that stuff, and making my VLANs and stuff, and integrating that as well into eGang. So it's a bit bigger than that. So it's not more. It's the foundation I want to have done, and I understand the focus part, which you clearly good discussed, well laid out. Also for me, how my head works. Without a foundation, everything will break, right? So I need
like
to
it.
have
I like it.
the think of the OSI layer. Now I need some basis, otherwise it doesn't matter if I have something, it will not work. Just
You know,
pure.
I would tell you the same thing I tell Aubrey. You guys,
Yes.
believe it or not, right? After Aubrey, her accident, right? You guys, your neurodivergence is technically your superpower because it for Aubrey, I like to tease her. If she makes a mistake and she gets frustrated about it, she'll literally forget about it within an hour, just because she'll forget everything. So she don't.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
she doesn't write
Short-term
down
memory.
the mistake or the problem or the bad feelings, it's gone. It's literally out the window a little bit later. In a way, your guys' neurodivergence could teach us to learn to let shit go, learn how to get
Oh,
over
yeah.
it quicker, right? Like, and so I always tell Aubrey
I'm
that
very
that's her
logic.
superpower.
Oh yeah. Well, you get the joke later, right?
Yes,
I'm
yes.
very logic.
So you can what I would say is in the process of teaching, definitely teaching people in this industry about networking would go a long way because so many people are struggling with the understanding that this is the internet and things just happen. Like the amount of people that get on lip sync and I'm like, that's RTMP. Like there's really no program in the world has perfect lip sync because of the way RTMP works. Once we get to SRT, then we got different problems. But for right now, that's just the way RTMP works. When it loses a packet, it will spend a week looking for a packet that it's never going to find, right? So your knowledge of that could really go a long way to helping some people out. So if you create some guides or create graphics or charts to help people understand
you could
some of
you
that.
could say that you say, do you have a USB cable lying around? Yes, you could have that. Oh well, there you go.
I have one
So
of those.
I only have SFP plus cables lying around.
I have those too. It's in my drawer right here. I have my SFP Plus cables.
Yeah.
Yo.
34 port 10 gig SFP plus switch.
Oh my
Love
God.
it.
I'm looking for
Yeah.
I'm looking for a new switch right now because I'm using this what they call it, Microtech.
Get the aggregation switch from Ubiquiti.
Right.
the
So that's
Pro
what I was
one.
looking at. The Ubiquiti.
Yeah.
Because everything is Ubiquiti except this one switch and it's driving me crazy because it's the one that I can't control. I always got to
Oh.
get up and touch it instead of using my interface.
Plural.
Super cool.
It also has the 25 gig SFPQ28 ports.
Now,
Four of them on
when
that
we
switch.
start talking this, we're going to nerd people out. They're going to be, what are
Okay,
Mark
let's not
and
do that. Let's not do that.
what are Mark and Doc talking about? All right, let's go see
Okay,
what AT
so
is
I'll
talking about.
I'll mute myself.
Thank you. Good to see you, brother. Does this work? It does work. Oh, I took a shortcut. What up, AT? Yo, this is fun. I just want y'all to know this is mad fun. You got to unmute yourself, of course. Can WhatsApp calls be brought in? Yes. If you have an interface that allows you to take Bluetooth calls, that's one way, Paul. Another way is, let me grab this phone. On your phone here, you could take and plug in this particular case, this is a 14, you could plug in a lightning to, I have one in this little bag right here. You could plug in a lightning to, what you call a cable?
USB-C.
Yeah, there you go.
USB.
Aubrey said it, lightning to USB. And then you could take the 3.5 millimeter out and pipe that into your system. Did you say that, AT, or did Aubrey say that?
That was all.
I did.
Okay. It sounded like AT's face with Aubrey's voice, and I'm like, what kind of ventriloquism do we
No,
got?
I was laughing.
All right, you
We
gotta
agree.
bring your
Yeah.
sound up a little bit, AT. Just a wee bit. Look, we got the same. You know what I'm saying? Got that good headphones. in.
Ooh, nice.
You know what it is.
I'm
All right.
still saying mic cover, mic pop, bomb.
Thank you. Wait. When I talked to AT, I got switched to blue, but I don't remember where I put it. I've been
No,
cleaning my
just-
office this last couple of days.
Is that better?
Keep that on.
Yeah, it's a little better. So what's cracking? What are you working on?
Working on the podcast.
All right.
Yeah,
Podcast?
yeah.
Actually, we couldn't today because Lou had to go do some family stuff, but we were going to come on today and basically build our new show in public so you guys can see us building it from the...
Yes.
Paul said he got WhatsApp on the Mac. All right, cool. Open the app and screen share it. Done. End of conversation. Like, you can share any app on your computer just with screen share overlay. So you can share your P-Hub app if you wish. Use its green. Use green screen to turn it to blue. No, it just disappears, June. If I put on the green screen, it just makes the mic cover disappear. Whoop. Wait, why did I listen to my brother? He's dumb. You know you cannot give one-word answers as the interview person. What are you working on? Podcast. What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
I said
Breakfast.
one word and you took off, so I just stopped.
Nah, man, you gotta keep going.
No, with the help of some wonderful people, I've chosen the logo. So now I'm working on revising the screens in Ecamm because I have I think 4 or 5 screens that are going to be just the basics. Because like you said before, I'm trying to keep it simple. I don't want a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
And
Okay, so some people would say that overproducing it. Let me make this straight. I want to make this straight because as much as I don't give a f, I gotta protect folks' feelings. Overproducing
why?
it.
You've never protected mine before.
No, it's because I know you can handle it.
Bring
Overproducing it
Bring it.
sets a level of expectation that you cannot keep. How about that? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right? So if you always up in the club and you rocking, this fake Louis and fake Versace and all that, but nobody can tell it's dark, right? So they're like, dang, cuz over here, he must be making some paper, right? You got in your Versace, you got in your Louis, you got in your fake Ferragamos and joint. And then finally, old girl is like, yeah, but all right, let's do this. Let's go to breakfast. And then you take her out to the car and you got a Chevette. It's going to be thoughts. There's going to be questions. And then you could go out to dinner and you're going to say, all right, tell the person to split it into 2 checks. There's going to be thoughts. There's going to be questions.
Let's go Dutch.
You know, oh, that's right. Why did they call it Let's Go Dutch, Mark? Anyway, so you don't set expectations that you can't keep. So making your show like all twirly and dope and highfalutin, but you don't have the ability to also do that, is literally setting an expectation, a visual expectation for a quality of show that won't match. It's better to have a visually unstunning show that is of immense quality, right? And so somebody said this the other day. Production value isn't just the look, but it's also the value that your audience gets out of what you're sending. Like,
Yes.
let that marinate for a split. You know what I'm saying? If you look, Kevin, production value is relative. What is overproduced for some people is the bare minimum for others. Some people need more production value to make that your baseline minimum. Also true, right? Like, and again, I find that when ESPN 30 for 30 came out, what made those documentaries so good was the interview section. And the interview section was so bare because they didn't believe in the show, so they didn't give them a high production budget. They also had to get rights for all of these old school clips. So most of the money went to those clips. So when they would do an interview, it was a curtain, a Home Depot light, a microphone, and a single camera shot at this 30-degree angle. But that was the first time you saw these athletes raw. Because they're not in the studio, they don't have makeup, they just sitting there raw, explaining what they were going through. If you look at the new ones, now they're in their living room with nice lighting and all this other crap. But if you look at the OG 30 for 30s, when ESPN thought the show was stupid and they wasn't going to give them any money to produce it, in filming, you could look up the ESPN interview because it became popular. That angle, that look, that style, it became popular with the YouTubers that had to do filming because it was a very cheap interview budget. Disembodied hosts, camera with a color splash, high key light, 30-degree angle, game recognized game. That's it. That's what it was about. So yes, good stuff. Good stuff. Man, I like this. This is fun.
So are
Look.
you and Mary Lou still gonna do that for us though?
Oh, absolutely. We just couldn't do it this week because she had something to do with Will. But yeah, so we are going to do it out in public. I think we have come to a conclusion on what the name is. I'm not telling y'all yet, just in case she changed her mind. She's a girl. Don't tell her I said that. Oh my God, I ain't trying
Oh,
to
you watching?
nothing. I ain't trying to get beat up.
Just claim that
What do
domain.
you always say about don't be labeling people? That's not all females.
Bring it. Yeah.
Yeah, tell him,
What?
Aubrey. Oh, hold on. Let's do something
Remember
new.
your own words. Don't
Since-
I
let
was
me
like,
come after
yeah.
Since
Try
these
to come
guys is
back.
being
Oh,
spicy,
see, and
hold
you
on. Let's do
first.
something. Let's make a new scene. All right, cool. And then we're going to put me over here like this, about like such. And then I'm going to do this right here. It's going to get a little crazy, but
Oh, boy.
I'm going to wait.
Just a little, huh?
Just a little. Hold on. I'm
Yeah.
working on it. Oh my God, I can't remember how to do it. Give me a second. Uh-oh. I just did this the other day and now I forgot. Hold on. Let me see.
You don't know everything?
Short-term memory.
Listen. Oh, my
Oh.
short-term memory is gone, but that has to do with this little green plant that we grow over here.
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go. I
Well,
got it.
Some things are worth
Oh,
it.
we don't have those over here, Doc.
Yeah, you do.
Actually,
It's a short ride to Amsterdam.
yep.
All right, there we go. Now we can. So now when Aubrey and ATV saying spicy stuff, you can actually see
Ooh.
them. There we go.
Yeah.
Now we're building in the fly. I like it. I
There we
like it a
go.
lot.
See, spontaneous. Love it.
Combustion. Spontaneous combustion. All right, so June said, remember, it's not always about you nor what you want. Figuring out your audience is what's key. 100%. Kevin said 30 for 30. The content, the story matters to people, why people even watch it through the production, even though the production is top notch. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
It's just like I want good vanilla ice cream with 0 toppings. Dude, you know what I did yesterday, June? For the first time in probably 15 years, I went to Baskin Robbins or BR or 31. I don't know what the hell they changed their name to now. But the first time in like 15 years, I went to Baskin Robbins because Emma wanted ice cream and she wanted that. People get confused. Once you have a viewer, it's no longer your show. Thank you. That is key. It's no longer your show. If you keep thinking it's your show, you will only have an audience of you and you will never get a community. We know fully well what happens when a person insists on audience of one. No, I'll just leave it there. What is up, Joe? Boom, boom. Oh, AT? Ollie said, what is your show? Drop a link.
Ooh, there you go.
You can't
don't
drop a
have it
link, so
yet.
tell me what it is. Oh, you could do it in chat now. I just thought about that. Well, because in YouTube you can't put a link, but in Zoom chat you can, because then I can just share it.
Oh, there you go.
That's different. I like it.
Nice. Yeah.
And you
No,
guys
but
got to
the-
get together and talk about building this sports show.
Oh, me and Aubrey?
No, Yolanda and Ollie.
Oh, because I was like, yeah, sports. I mean, I played in college, but I kind of had an accident in my head there.
Look, for the YouTube links, that's one thing, but for in Zoom, you have to provide the full URL. It will not take it without the HTTPS or etc. So not
Okay.
a domain / something doesn't work.
Wow.
Now you know, AT.
Hmm?
Boom. There's a UI. Oh, put your link to your show. There's a UI UX
I don't-
aspect
I'm
to
still
video.
building it. I haven't started.
Oh, she not done yet, Ollie.
I'm not
She's-
done yet.
She's sandbagging, dude.
Do you really want to go there?
No.
Ooh. I'm like,
It's a UI UX
Gotcha.
aspect to video that people don't think about. There's a lot of stuff happening at the subconscious level. 100%, June. That is true. And
Yep.
again, people are trying to basically build. They're trying to build what they see instead of building what's right for their audience. Like, I think that here's a challenge. I'm going to show you something. So as I started building this pardon the interruption scene, and the last thing that I didn't do, which I could do real quick, is just make it so that it looks very much similar to what we were going for in the old pardon the interruption type situation, right? And let me go ahead and build that, block that up. I would start adding elements in order to flush this out and make it, sort of look the way that you see it on the television, right? However, in the process of building this and making it like super, super cute, every week when it is time to do the show, I have to then in turn come back in here and make all of these adjustments to all of these layers that I built all of this stuff for. Okay? And so while that is dope, what that is going to require me to do is every week spend an hour changing all of these to say different stuff, right? Changing the format, and none of this is automated. So now what I just did is put a barrier that now gives me the fodder for an excuse. Let that marinate for a second. I've just invented a false barrier because now every week when it's time to do this show, I got to come in here and I got to do something. This show is going to be sponsored by Doc Pops.
Yes.
Put this up here.
Beautiful.
Right? Let's go ahead and do this here.
Nice.
And then we're going to,
Yep.
boom. So now you know. So in other words, when the show didn't happen this week, what you're going to say is, oh, I have to skip this week because I have to do this. Or I have to skip this week because I have to do that. Right? And then the next week is going to come. And then you're going to have to skip another week because you ain't ready. Why did I make my own scene dumb? Why am I not full brightness? What is he doing? What is he doing? Opacity.
Clearly messing up.
No, there you go. And so you're basically setting yourself up. The more production value you add, you're basically setting yourself up for the drama of not being able to keep up, if that makes any sense. And I think this is where people get themselves in trouble, again, because they watching somebody else do it and they think, oh, the curse of this is easy. That's a better way to put it. The curse of this is easy. Now, hey, Ollie, listen, when you first posited the question in the Ecamm group, I, for one, told you to simplify it because I know the drama, bro. I legit know the drama. And then you was like, yeah, and you had feelings. And everybody kept telling you, yeah, let's simplify this. And eventually you made some adjustments. But even with those adjustments, you still got to spend hours a week putting it together. And that just becomes old. Like, that becomes old real quick. And it just becomes a lot of unnecessary work. And what is the song? WKRP, right? I'm tired of packing and unpacking up and down the dial, right? That's got to be you. Every week, you got to have to come in and just do more stuff in order to pull. So, yeah, you can pull all these fancy overlays and stuff out of your bacon, but you're just making yourself have to work. Work. Come on, girl. Working girl. Move your... on the runway, work, supermodel. Sorry, Pride Month. What do you want?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yo, this is super cool. All right, people, any more questions you got, bring it. If not, I'm going to get coffeeed up for class because we're going to do some dope stuff in class today. Stevie said, I am learning consistency is better than perfection. You can't actually reach consistency. Perfection, maybe not. Yo, oh, AT, speak or forever hold your peace. I got to give you your props.
Yes, sir.
Kevin said that AT is killing 75 hard. Where did it go, Kevin?
So
I know Kevin said it. So, yeah, how's it going so far?
Better for Steven than me, but I'm making it work.
Hey, y'all stuck to it. Big Country, he ran away.
He didn't stick long enough to start running.
I said Big Country has 75 minutes. Let me not tease.
No, that's what he said himself.
Listen, I did not like commit to doing the 75 hard right now because I know what I'm doing with Zoom integration and some other stuff that I'm working on that you guys are very familiar about. I just like, it'd be really dumb to try to inject that in. However, I have taken some inspiration from you, if you will. And what I have been doing is I have been putting in an hour a day into my kanji, right? Because I'm starting to slack off for a little bit. And then I have been doing the Huberman routine, which is get up in the morning, delay my caffeine for an hour to an hour and a half. That is so hard because I've come to the conclusion I am absolutely addicted to my morning coffee because skipping that hour and a half, it causes physical manifestations. Like I'm angry, don't talk to me, don't say shit,
Yep.
don't start none, won't be none. Like I'm like having to have meetings with Katie and Paul and Caleb, and I'm like, yo, this lack of caffeine, I'm about to hurt someone. And then somebody in the group will come in and ask a question that they didn't even bother to try first, and I kind of semi want to hurt them. So I'm getting used to it. It's slowly starting to, those cravings are wearing down. And then I have been
Holy
going
shit, say something.
outside to get the sunlight when I first wake up, and basically walking. And then in the evening I've been walking, which is really bad right now because one knee has no cartilage left, so it's painful, but I like walk it anyway. Walk it like I talk it. So I have been doing a modified 75 doc, and it's working. Like it's working. Like it is a fantastic way to give yourself some progress, even if you're not ready to do the full 75 hard. Take something like that and give yourself a daily task and knock it the F out.
Rude.
Like, so good on you, AT. You sparked a revolution.
Power to the people.
It's power to the people. And I know we was doing class and Wixie was outside, and then he's like, I got a question. And we're like, do we need to call an ambulance? Stevie was putting in work though. He did the whole thing. Like he went for that. If I have class for an hour, I got to do this 45-minute exercise. So for 45 of the minutes, he was out there. And then the last 15 was in the car, in the air conditioning, watching the sun go down like, Jesus, Lord, help me, Jesus, Lord, Jesus. I was like, oh, he's going to start praying. He's speaking in tongues. AT got him in the hot heat walking around. That's crazy. That's crazy. Gretchen, you can just say stuff and you just automatically switch. We still can't
Yeah,
hear
it's
her.
like somebody else say something.
We still can't hear her.
Because
Hello.
Aubrey don't want to
I
be
believe
on camera.
Gretchen was struggling with some audio thing because she's trying to speak. She apparently has things set accordingly in Zoom.
But it's not working.
No audio.
Nope. Not us. Not muted on our side.
Yep.
So you're
So-
really
Gretchen, can you maybe type what you experience or what you see?
good on you, Stevie. Yo, this is cool, man. It really does work. Is going to have fun. Turn on Find Me so we can find him as necessary.
Yeah.
Yes. Turn on Find My so in case we got to come and get you. Aubrey can get you. Michelle can get you. As I figured out recently, we got a whole bunch of people in thing. What's the best way for ECL user to join another ECL user for hosting the Zoom show? Either or at this point, either or. So you can come in through the Zoom link or you can come in regularly. Paul had this problem, Gretchen, and Paul said restart your Mac. Paul had this problem yesterday. Hold on, I am looking for my backpack. I need a tissue. Oh,
It was a good thing to have, huh?
yeah, you gotta keep them in the backpack because it's blooming season in Hawaii right now, and it just. That and when the
actually
volcano
not
starts
fun.
erupting for about a week, those of us with any type of pulmonary disorders, once the volcano erupts, the whole island is jacked. And you can tell when the volcano is erupting because if you go into the drugstore, there's no sinus medicine to be found.
Whoa, really? Clear them
You
out.
have drugstores? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. What do you guys call it? Pharmacy?
Yeah, sure. Now we call it drugstores, whatever.
Well, no, in England they call it pharmacy. Like they don't say
Yep, they
drugstores
do.
the way we say it. But then what's funny is inside the drugstore, there's the pharmacy. Now, what's crazy
True.
is before, the pharmacy was the main component. At this point, the drugstore is beer, magazines, makeup, the tools that you could never use for your house, like the shittiest screwdrivers possible, the worst pliers, the horriblest tape, basic glue, lots of batteries.
Still things you can put in your backpack, I guess.
Yes. And then at the end, there's the pharmacy. So they're not even what they used to be. Like, they're really just another department store, but with all of the cheap crap stuff in it.
Fine pie.
English folks call everything unique names. This is true. This is true. Yeah, the volcano started erupting on Wednesday, and immediately it causes problems. Hey, Tommy. Yo, Tommy is here. Let's see. We add Tommy. It's connecting with the audio. And then all I got to do is press add and wait for Tommy to turn on his camera. And then he's going to say
Is
something
Gretchen gone?
in country. Yeah,
from
because Paul
your-
said
from
restart
your
her
Zoom?
Mac.
Oh, that. Okay, okay.
Because Paul ran into this problem yesterday too, and then he restarted his Mac and all was good in the hood. It happens. It happens. Drugstore, pharmacy, the trap. Oh yeah, the trap is it's a different one. Yo, you guys have those too? The drugstores that are on the street corner, operated by two dudes, one on a bicycle.
Of course not.
In Hawaii, at least they have chocolate macadamias at the drugstore. True story. True story. Actually, I have some in here somewhere. I often take, when I go on trips, Kevin, I often take those with me. All right, let's see. Let's make a camera for the Tommy. Boom, boom, boom. Ellison. Bingo. Now Tommy is there. So if you say something, Tommy, you will automatically pop up because we have active speaker mode alive.
All right. I am online, I believe, and
Yeah.
audio, video, both in active mode. So
It works.
sounds good.
Good to see you, brother.
Okay. Well, I've never in a situation wanted to use Ecamm to join a Zoom call that's actually being hosted by the new Zoom protocol that's, you're doing now. So I wasn't sure exactly how this was going to hook up. One thing I did have to find out, though, by hook or crook, is that I needed to mute the original YouTube channel that I was watching initially on because I was getting a duplex
Yes,
signal
100%.
there, audio.
And it's funny because that's going to come up a lot inside. That's going to come up a lot inside the Ecamm community. Is all I was doing is, and I'm hearing, echo. Everyone's going to say, but it's almost going to be that they are having the tab open still. So
Right.
it's going to take a minute to remind everybody that when you come in, you definitely need to mute your tab. Otherwise, it's going to drive you bananas.
Well, in reality, I guess you could close the YouTube window, but then you're losing your ability to enter the chat area, right? Or just leave the pop-out
I
chat
always
open.
have it open. So whenever I'm a guest on the show or whatever, I always have the YouTube chat open. And then what I do is I pop the chat out,
Right.
right? Because on YouTube you can do that. So I pop the chat out and I make it big so I can look at it without doing the thing where I'm looking like this trying to read it. So
Got it.
that is
Yeah.
my normal
So,
trick.
Doc, another Mac
Trick.
next to me with just YouTube open. Another Mac Zoom
Trick.
on here next to me
work as well?
with just YouTube.
Okay,
So
Gretchen's
we
back.
got a little
That's Gretchen.
duplex going
That's
there.
Gretchen. That means that her stuff is working.
Hooray! But I have another Mac here with the live stream, and another Mac just for Zoom.
Yeah,
That seems to
before
work
I used to
best.
do that too, Mark. I used to bring my iPad all the time, and I would have the stream and everything running on the iPad, and then have Ecamm doing its thing. But then as the systems got better, the M processor came out, and then as the ability to run multiple screens on the Mac, it went from just 2 to now I can run 6 off of this one. I just
Sure.
put it back into one machine. But yeah, before I used to always do it with the 2 different machines. Matter of fact, I think
But
my
for
second
the-
ever
for
Ecamm
what you
tutorial
were-
was
what
how to
you were
run 2
addressing,
Macs.
Doc, for
Yes.
the what will come up in the community and the questions, this is the thing. So my solution for now is I have my M2 Max Studio and I'm just using Zoom here. And on my left, I have my MacBook Pro M3 Pro, which has an application running YouTube. Just for that reason, because
They never have that problem.
how it gets piped in is not clear yet.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm figuring out.
Yeah,
Okay,
it would
muted
it would never
myself.
create that problem that way. Basically, if you have, well, with Zoom or with Ecamm, if you have the system audio plugin, especially for me, it comes that way because of the way the Rodecaster is on. I need to have the USB piped up. In other words, my USB level can never be at the bottom because then I can't hear you guys. So because I have the USB up, any sound my Mac makes will process through and come to you guys. Now, currently, I have you guys in USB chat, right? For Rodecaster Pro, it says Rodecaster Pro Duo Chat. So in that
So that's a
channel,
mix minus stuff, right?
it mix minuses all of that stuff out. So then you guys are
Yep.
fine. But if you had an interface that didn't have that, it would create all myriad sorts of problems. So normally what I do on my Rodecaster Pro is I mute the USB, but then I put the
Yep.
green button for the active listen, which again is confusing to people because June was in the chat yesterday trying to explain to somebody what this is. And I was just watching them slowly melt. And June and Daniel were explaining it over and over again, and they were just slowly melting. And I was like, okay, listen, people, this is why you
Tommy,
got to
can
read your
you,
Rodecaster manual.
Maybe Tommy can explain, or for me then at least, what you experienced just now when coming in.
Tommy,
I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Mark said, can you
Sorry.
explain what exactly you experienced when you came in?
Well, it launched a Zoom meeting, and it actually was because I came in with the link. It asked me if I wanted to join the meeting, and when I did, I got the typical Zoom meeting that any participant would have, and so I've placed it on my caster, my Elgato caster, so I can look at the Zoom window and not have to look here or there to see who's in. But I still had the YouTube channel. If this is what you're asking, the YouTube channel was still running and the audio was coming through my system, and I had to go in and mute it because otherwise I'm getting that people call it echo. It's actually a duplex audio signal coming in that's got a reverby sound to it. So, or actually a
It's-
delay. Yeah.
Same thing.
So was
happens
that
when
the
you-
question?
Yeah, that was correct.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure that I didn't speak over what you were telling. I didn't want to take over the conversation.
Yeah, you still have the same issues you have when you're watching. Like if you join a Facebook group or YouTube where you're in interview mode, you've got to mute that other source. Oops, what am I doing? I'm in the wrong thing.
You coming in old.
And with that said, Paul and Doc, if I were not wearing headphones, would I be having that duplex by listening to my studio monitors, or is it mix minus already built into that?
So with Zoom, the mix minus is already built in, and so in theory, you should be good. I still suggest using them because it really depends on how hot your mic is, right? So for me right now, messing around with Mr. Camera Junkie and Daniel, my SM7B is super hyper sensitive. So I can't even turn my speakers up a little bit without even getting a whistle. You know when you hold your hand by your hearing aid, it goes, Paul, same thing. So like now, if I put my speakers up, it starts to whistle ASAP. And that's just because they made my microphone so hot. But they made it this way because my audience is people of your guys' vintage who all say I'm not loud enough.
Well, okay.
I have a
I
question.
can hear
Put a
Karen
curse
milling
on you.
around in the office. Karen, Tommy
putting
said
a
hi
curse
before
on
he
you,
said
Doc.
it. She
Apple,
said hi,
I believe
Tommy.
Gretchen restarted her Mac, but I'm not sure if she's coming through audio-wise.
Come on,
Can you
Gretch.
use this to? Can you use this to slap people too? There you go.
Okay,
That's
Gretchen's
not.
working.
I'm
I
going to
heard her
ask a
laughing.
question.
Here.
This is my I want to slap Doc face, not my I got a question look. So anyway,
You got to tilt it a
unfortunately,
little
it's true.
bit. You got to
Yeah.
tilt it. All right, Gretchen,
Why
I think
don't
it's
you
working
just lean
now.
in? Why don't you just lean into it, Doc? Just lean into it. Yeah. There you go. It's like they used to say, lean into the curveball. Yeah, right.
Say something, Gretchen.
Something, Gretchen? Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I
talking
heard
to
her for
her.
a second,
Sorry.
and now she's missing again. Listen, we're going to have to send over a tech support to her house.
Yes, with a backpack.
I heard her just a second ago. Hey, Kills, what is
I did
happening?
too.
Kill said it's just like Discord channel behind the scenes during a live stream. You just got to mute the YouTube. True story. Because otherwise you hear it a couple times and it just starts to drive you crazy.
Yes.
And June said what I said in much less words as he always does.
Succinct. Very nice.
So, am I
See,
sounding
see-
softer than normal?
Well,
Yeah,
'cause
you're a
Pride,
bit,
Pride Month.
you're
So
a bit low, Paul.
I love you, Paul.
Bring
Still
it,
a bit
Paul.
low.
Less.
It's Paul or what?
At the moment, my voice.
Yes. Okay.
It still
I can make
sounds like
appointments for the
Paul, but
other.
it's quieter than normal. Okay, so that's a good thing. Remember now, guys, when we're doing this, you're at your Zoom audio settings instead of what we're normally used to in Ecamm. And I guess theoretically, if you're doing it correctly, they should be the same on either because you're going to set your audio up to always win. But this is going to be a challenge for people because did anybody come in from Ecamm for Zoom or did you come in as a normal Zoom meeting?
I came in as Ecamm for Zoom.
Okay.
Ecamm
So
for
in theory,
Zoom.
you're see
Hey,
now you work,
audio.
Gretchen.
Hey, okay. So I had to thank you, Keely, because what I had to do was I had to mute my YouTube on the regular YouTube. I had to mute that. And then I had to go and join the computer audio again because I had to leave it because I was getting so much reverb and whatever you
Slapback.
guys call it, the correct name that I don't know.
Slapback.
That bad.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Well,
yes.
I'm glad you mentioned this, Gretchen. The reason why you have to mute YouTube is because in your Zoom settings, if you have noise cancellation happening, then your YouTube is making noise. So then your mic can't release because YouTube is squeezing it. And if you don't talk loud enough to bust over what noise you're making, it's just going to be silent. So it's why I heard you bust through a little bit because you laughed and you laugh loud. Everybody laughs loud.
Oh no,
Right?
I laugh loud. I
Right.
laugh
So you
loud.
laughed loud enough to push past the noise suppression, but you weren't talking loud enough to push past it. So as your
Yeah.
YouTube is making noise back to your mic, it was squelching it. So when we were doing this test, like I think last week, Tuesday or whatever, and I was trying to play Epidemic Sound and you guys couldn't hear it at one point, and then they said, oh, turn off the noise suppression. As soon as I did that, it worked. That's exactly what was going on.
Okay.
Keely is a genius. Oh God!
That's-
Now we got to
all
do
right.
Keely was right again.
Thank you, Keely.
So when I come in through Ecamm for Zoom, I have
Yes.
no controls for my mic when I go to my Zoom settings for volume or anything.
Yeah, because
And I
Ecamm for
have
Zoom is
to-
running that.
Right. I have to shove my slider on my Rodecaster Pro as high as it goes. That's what you're hearing right now. I pushed it as high as it goes.
Okay, so
And
the
I'm
next
still
time
waiting.
you're not in Ecamm for Zoom, set your set your settings in Zoom, and then that's where it's going to be controlled from. You see what I'm saying? What happens is, as I think it turns it off, but
When I join from Zoom, it sounds fine. When I join just directly from Zoom, everything sounds fine. When I
because you have
come
your
into
controls
interview
there.
mode or do a show,
Yep.
everything's fine. As soon as I go Ecamm for Zoom, it goes off the deep end.
Because now with the show, those controls are turned off for simplicity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if
Well,
you set
one can
it's
doubt
like-
simplicity there, Doc, because it's kind of confusing. Because I copied the URL from one Mac and then opened it in a browser on the other Mac, got the prompt to, do you want to open the Zoom macOS desktop application, which I did, and that's how I'm now joining. So hence me using
well,
two
under
Macs.
normal circumstances, when you send somebody the link, you're not going to get a redirect because you're not coming from inside of YouTube. That YouTube redirect is a security function for YouTube because Google, as the third or fourth largest company in the planet, if you click a link and it takes you to somewhere that jacks your identity, who do you sue?
Yep.
You don't sue
I
me
get that.
because you go get 35 cents from me. But if you sue them, you can get a couple billion. So
Yeah,
that redirect, that's
yeah.
nothing we can control. But in the
No, no,
same notion, the
yeah.
average person joining one of these doesn't have eCam. They're going to come in directly through Zoom.
Or might not have several Macs to do the same, Doc. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
I mean,
just
yeah.
what I
for-
had to do
So
is
if
I
you
had
go
to
through the
in.
simplicity, right, what Paul and Gretchen did was created a bigger issue than normal because out of most people, you're not going to come in through eCam for Zoom. You're going to come in normally. You don't join
Which is
until
in
Tuesday.
this case what? What is normally? Let's define that.
Well, I mean,
Directly
through
all right,
Zoom?
this is super
Yes.
simple. Let's back
No,
this up to
the-
Monday. How did you join Zoom calls on Monday?
I didn't have a
Ecamm
Zoom
beta.
call on Monday.
Right. You understand? You didn't open the link from inside of eCam. It didn't exist. Well, we had alpha.
Well,
so.
but I did do Zoom calls. On another, no,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm mixing things up.
Okay, so
Welcome
back
to
this
my
up. Let's
autism.
put this in English, okay? I can't speak Dutch, so we have
prior
to do
to
this in
Monday.
English.
Prior to Monday or
Prior
to
to
Tuesday, how
Monday,
did
you joined the Zoom meeting through Zoom.
Yep.
Yes.
So the reason why Gretchen had an audio problem is she joined the Zoom meeting through eCam, which the general population is not going to do. So I'm going to tell you right now, eCam users, just because you have the tool, don't use it. If you're hosting a meeting, come in with eCam for Zoom. If you're a guest, just use the regular Zoom like a human because you're going to create problems for the person that's hosting the show.
So
Yes,
the
Tommy.
host
I use it
account-
because there's less resources being used on my computer.
I mean, you have
when I
a
use-
Mac Studio.
but Doc,
I got a
you would
Porsche. I'm going to
use,
drive 5 miles an hour because, you know.
Paul's
The-
going into scarcity. I'm like,
When you host and you are the account holder, then you would do it from eCam, but the other ones will join via
So you're
Zoom,
gonna
right?
join? Are you gonna drive a Porsche? Freaking drive it.
Yeah, I don't like Porsche anyway. But yeah, Mark, you're correct.
Yeah.
If you're
I
going to
got
be a
you.
guest,
Yes.
just come in the
Okay.
normal human way like you always have
Fine.
been before Tuesday ever existed.
But this would be
Yes.
good for a knowledge base article if it's not already there. That's
No,
what I
because in
mean.
theory,
Like,
well, let's back this up. In theory, you can do it through eCam for Zoom, provided your audio game is me, June, Daniel, somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. But if you don't,
yes,
then don't
but
and
for
don't add an
all
extra
those
layer.
others,
Do not
good
add an
knowledge
extra
base
layer of problems.
article.
This is everybody's problem in anything to do with tech. You go straight
Yes.
from turning it on to trying to do something that is well beyond your means.
Correct.
So
in the
knowing that,
frequently
just
ask questions then maybe.
It's
I'll
already
leave it
done.
there.
Paul wrote it.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I haven't
there we
seen
go.
that. Thanks,
so
Paul.
he's got
Yep.
it going on.
Yes, Tommy.
So he
There we
knows
go.
how to do it. and
Everybody
still we
quiet.
have
Tommy is
this.
talking.
Okay, bye.
Yes, Tommy.
Sorry.
Well, I was going to say to Paul's original question, if you were coming in through eCam, which he said he did, into the Zoom room there, would that volume control not be controlled by the sound levels in the eCam settings? Where like mine says Rodecaster Duo now, and my slider is at 80. So if I needed more volume, wouldn't I push that volume there? And not on the slider on my Rodecaster. I'm not sure what Paul uses.
They're
So-
both. They're both would work. If you add more
Yeah.
from the Rodecaster, is actually better than just cranking it up in Ecamm because you're starting at the source. Whenever you look at an audio chain and you want to turn something up, you turn it up as farthest back as possible. Ooh, excuse me. So if I had a guitar that was going into a preamp, that was then going into a reverb, that was then going into an equalizer, then going to a compressor, and then going to a post amp, when I want to turn up the guitar, you turn up the guitar. You can turn up the compressor, you can turn up the preamp, but the reality is it's better if you turn up the guitar. The
Yeah,
better
and I-
the signal
and I
coming in, the better the signal coming out. And so at every stage, gain staging, that's why they call it that, at every stage along the chain, although you have those controls, the further back in the chain you can actually add the input, the cleaner the output.
See, I listened to some things you say, Doc.
Thank you.
Yeah,
The
I'm
other
just,
thing-
I'm
the other
just
thing, too, that
curious. I'm sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
No,
My
the other
bad.
thing that came up was the issue that you had, Doc, with the compressor. And somebody was saying that I may need to turn off the compressor or
Daniel.
back it way down in
Yeah.
order to fix this.
Yes. Because of the way Zoom processes audio now, and then I don't know how or why, I haven't confirmed this, but I'm telling you anecdotally, after we started messing with Ecamm for Zoom, I have to turn off the compressor on my Rodecaster. I completely took my DLZ, both of them, off and apart, and I was blaming them. It's neither one of them. It's something to do with this new. Me and compressor don't work, but that's my frequencies. Your frequencies might be different, right? If you have a high pitched voice or, just a different set of frequencies, you might be. But Paul, I'm going to assume you're in the same boat as me because we got super deep bass, sexy registries, and we don't, we can't help it that we sound like Lou Ross. You'll never find.
Looks like
Find
looks
my
like a ebony and ivory Barry White going on there.
Oh, Tommy wins
I
the
could
internet
always
for
do
today.
this. This might help.
Oh,
matters.
baby.
Tommy, thank you.
Oh my
Bounce
God.
it back and forth, baby.
Dun, dun, dun,
Okay,
dun,
I'll
dun,
just talk
dun,
like
dun.
this now.
You're
So here's
everything. Sorry.
my response was Paul said that he pushed his slider all the way to get his volume, and I was just curious how much more headroom he had in the Ecamm sound level window.
Okay,
that
Paul. So
could
let's
have
try this.
potentially
Grab
boosted
your
that.
Ecamm level and
Uh-huh.
bring it down, and while you're talking, and see if it fades.
Okay, I'm at 80% in Ecamm now, and now I'm sliding down as I'm talking, and I'm going down, and I'm now passing 60%. I'm now down to 50. I'm going down to 40. I'm going down.
I like
There
this
you go.
version right here.
Can't hear you.
Right around
No.
20 is gangster. So it does work, Tommy. It does
So
work.
bad.
Oh, poor Paul.
Don't listen to Doc.
Well,
The other thing that happens to me sometimes is I sometimes judge my volume levels of what I'm sending out based on what I'm hearing in my headphones, and that's not the same signal. I can make myself louder or softer, but I don't really know what's going out until I can get some feedback from folks
And so
or hear a
this
recording.
is so good. Thank you, Tommy. People do this all the time. They crank their headphones up and they go, well, this sounds fine. I was like, that's your headphone setting, fam. This is not what you're supposed to pay attention to. Because especially we all hear differently and it changes over time, right? So at the stage of life that we're in, our headphone volume becomes less and less and less accurate every single year. So reality is this is where meters come in. The biggest challenge that we all have currently right now, the Ecamm meters are, let's just say they are. The Rodecaster meters are, let's just say they are. None of these are like true meters, which is drives people like June and I crazy because in reality, I should be able to look at a meter with 0 headphones and select the level and know that it's gangster. Right, but unfortunately, the two tools that are the most common in our place, which is Ecamm and the Rodecaster Pro, the meters are basically full of it. So you have to, better to do a test and let people hear you and tell you what to do. So I was going straight off the Ecamm meters forever. And then Daniel and Mr. Camera Junkie was like, nah, man, it's still not loud enough. And I'm like, shut up, it's loud. They're like, nope. And they kept tweaking it, and now it's better. And that's because I had to learn that these meters did not telling me the truth.
Well, in the test that we just did with me lowering my Ecamm volume, what I was hearing in my headphones, because I'm monitoring my Rodecaster Pro,
Didn't change.
the volume didn't change.
There you
I
go.
sounded the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens if you turn off your compressor, Paul?
Or your computer.
Oh, we turn off his computer is good, Mark.
Doc
Thank
would
you.
like me to turn my computer off.
Would,
Look, Mark is
would
on
the
my
noise
side today.
would the noise gate also affect that as well?
Okay,
don't
so
use
the,
noise
the noise gate is well, let's explain this in a nutshell. Here is a threshold. Okay, let me make this make sense. A noise gate is very much like this spray bottle here. If I put my finger on here, nothing's happening. Right? I'm gonna go big head for a second. If I put my finger on here, nothing happened. But with enough pressure, a little bit would just come out. This was Gretchen. Just a little bit comes out the tip. If you press it all the way, it comes out. So this is the volume. The bottom is the volume is high enough for the sound to come out. This volume isn't loud enough. This volume is loud enough. So what a noise gate does is it opens the gate under the right amount of sound pressure. So if I'm talking like this, you might not be able to hear it if I had a noise gate on. I don't have a noise gate on. I hate noise gates. but
I
you
like
can
that
still,
sound.
you can still hear me whispering, right? But if you had a noise gate on, nothing's going to come out, right? So people turn it on because of their occasional kid or their occasional cat might make a noise, or they got gas. We're old. But what you can tell when someone has a noise gate on is you can hear the audio pumping. And what I mean by that is at the very end of this, because they start to sound geechy, like it cuts off part of their words. Right? Boy can't have
Sidechain
it.
compression.
I know wrong with him, boy. The boy need to check. The boy can't have it. You know how Geechees like cut off the end of their words? That's what the noise gate does to people's words, because we naturally tail volume when we talk. But if you're the type of person that talks and you end with the every inflection goes up, then noise gate is not so much of a problem. But yeah, me personally, I can't stand noise gates.
Okay, this is me without compressor.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back to there. You got to
And
talk
the
for more than
other
half a
thi-
second.
Well, the other thing that I was going to say to what was just said was you were on a stream this past week with somebody that had noise gate turned on.
Bill.
So everything was quiet when they weren't talking, but as soon as they talked,
You can
started
hear.
hearing all the fan noise and everything in the room, and then when they stopped talking, it got silent again. So it was almost more distracting because this sound was showing up and then it was going away, and then it was showing up and it was going away.
This is what I'm talking about. P listens to me. I'm going to have to give myself a pat with the back because this is exactly why I hate noise gates, especially people that every time they talk, you can just, it's obnoxious. It sounds like 793, 5011, 577. We have a copy. We have a 187 in progress. There is a small lady from Peachtree, Georgia, riding around in a golf cart. I believe she is intoxicated or may have been smoking the marijuana. That's exactly what it sounds like. It drives me freaking crazy. June said noise gate is really, really good for the use amount of noise that you can't really hear when someone is talking, but you can when they're not. Exactly. I have a huge room.
They
with high
used
ceilings.
to call it a squelch knob, you know.
Yeah, squelch knob.
Squelch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stevie, this is such a good comment. What to do when you have huge ceilings, and this is Katie's problem in the room. So I told Katie that, and maybe we could do this at camp, we need to build rolling walls. This is where a V-flat would come into play if you have the space for it. A V-flat is a gigantic plywood on a hinge that you can just open and close. You could also just take, the little cart that you get at Home Depot for like $14. It says Milwaukee, has a little handle, has 4 wheels, little piece of carpet. You could also take 2 of those and then erect a board vertically on that. So you can roll this wall in and out of place. So you can shorten the distance between you and the back wall, and you actually give the sound something to deflect off of. Because what happens when you have a big cavernous space, the sound takes time to deflect and come back. And then it all of a sudden sounds like you're in a massive room. And that's where that sound comes from, because you're hearing the delay of the sound coming back when it does finally decide to come back, if that makes any sense. I typed room instead of road central. That was dumb. But that's exactly it. I'm going to see if I can create the fake one with my Rodecaster Duo real quick. Come on, wake up, Maggie. Wake up, Maggie.
So do I sound different? Now that I
Not
have-
really.
Okay, so compressor isn't changing too much. At
No.
least I'm going to try no compressor when we do class and see if I sound different.
What level are you now, Paul?
I haven't changed volume levels at all. The only thing I did was turned off compressor.
Yeah, but you're now at 80 again?
Yeah, I've always been at 80.
Yeah, okay. So, but yeah, okay, thanks.
He's at
Yeah,
80.
he's almost 80.
He's talking
I
about
know-
his level
I know
or
that.
how old
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm at
I
72.
have 11 years to go for that one.
Tommy said
Yep.
72.
You know, there
Yeah,
used to
my-
be an old analog way of measuring sound. You could take a Ziploc bag like this, and you can literally do the sound like this. When someone's talking, you know, if it's too loud, it'll go like this. It'll actually start to go down like that, you see. But if you talk too loud or too soft, it will actually ask you to turn it up a little bit.
Tommy, you and your magic tricks.
Yeah.
God.
It's also a good ED detector if you think about it, because it'll really just,
Oh,
pretty good.
man.
Wait a minute, I'm holding it too close to
We're
the
gonna send you
microphone
one.
here. Yeah.
He's got it. I'm like,
Tommy.
you're unsure.
Oh my God.
Oh, that lowered
I'm
the
gonna have
level,
to
huh?
change-
Make it shrink.
I'm going to
now.
have to change the rating for this channel or this stream today.
Just lowered the level on that one. Okay.
We lowered something.
But not far.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have to snip it
Doc's
off.
doing it now.
No pun intended, but you have
No
to snip it off.
snipping. I don't think
God.
snipping is
Oh,
not
and-
a good
This was the
conversation.
If you
Bobby
want to,
channel.
if you want to make one of these, what you do is you cut off the the main part of the bag, and then you snip off one end, and then you leave the other end intact, and that's the end you grab. And so when it works, it's basically just pulling that lock up or down depending on the pressure of your thumb. So you can have some fun with it when you're talking to your grandpa or something.
So is your bag cut
Oh,
or uncut?
man.
Paul. Drew says, I can't stand compressors. It sounds like you have a sinus headache. Yes. Yeah, and Stevie says he's going to try the noise gate. Now, listen, Paul uses Chris, and so does Louise, and I freaking hate Chris with a passion. But the only reason why is because the software can create problems, and what happens is it's being sold to muggles who don't understand audio flow, and then when something goes wrong, it becomes, oh, Ecamm broke XYZ, blah, 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 and I get a whole lot of tech support, and come to find out they're inappropriately using Crisp. So these tools are great if people were actually the type of people that would read manuals. But in the U.S., nobody reads manuals. In Japan, everybody does. So Chris is probably flawless in Japan, maybe Germany, places where people read manuals. In the U.S., people don't read manuals, and they talk about it like they know what they're doing, and then it becomes a tech support nightmare to me. So I freaking hate
So
Chris.
it's the passion of the crisp then, Doc?
So
It's
this is me
the
without crisp.
passion
This
of
is
the
what
crisp?
I sound like without crisp.
It sounds fine, Paul.
You don't hear that air conditioner?
No, I'm telling you, you hear it because you're there. The way to know this is record private YouTubes and then listen to them. Because I don't hear jack right now. and I'm not
I did
deaf.
that. Let me. You hear this paper crinkling?
Nope.
Okay, so something's.
Oh, because we're in Zoom right now.
Oh, no. Hang on. It's not. I have that turned off. Let me try something. Did that change anything?
Welcome to Doc Rock's
'Cause I
Saturdays.
I shouldn't be using Crispin's. I thought I turned it off. So you're not hearing anything?
Nope. I mean, I hear dead people, but that's different.
Well, there's lots of those around here.
On this Tuesday, we're going to have AMR tech support.
Fire.
Uh-oh. My ISO just said error making a recording. I wonder why. I started making that noise. My ISO just went dumb. Let me see, how much disk space do I have? Oh, I still have a 0.5 terabyte left over, so that's not it. It must be something else. I'm not a fan of any of these noise gates unless you buy a freaking noise gate. So if you got a DVX 286S, I am about that life. If you use weird software, not about that life.
Now you tell me.
So an analog signal pad.
Yes,
Good idea.
that's what a DVX 286S
Yeah,
sort
I
of
know.
is. Yeah. Stevie said, "Oh yeah." So Luis thinks, Paul, that Zoom is cleaning it right now.
It could be. I thought I don't have it background or that turned on in Zoom, but it may be picking it up from someplace else.
Yeah, man, Zoom is incredible when it comes to that. And it's funny, but that's why when you're recording a podcast, if you're going to use all of this stuff in Zoom, you want to keep your raw recording, because in the process of Zoom doing all of that, it makes your audio harder when you go to edit. Not that you can't do cuts and things like that, but if you want to add other things to it, you're going to be double processing, and that can get real. When you hear double processing, it sounds like you're underwater. That's because it's adding digital artifacts because there wasn't enough information in order to do the dang thing in the first place. So it starts to get a little psycho. Listen, this is cool though. I gotta say, I kind of like it. And Stevie said back in the chat a little bit, having this round robin, what we call this thing, speaker mode. This is really cool for doing these Zooms, and I think we got something cool going on. Yes, night market is tonight outside. Let me know when you want to go. We can go find some food. Even though I hate crowds, I'll go check it out a little bit. I'm getting older and curmudgeon-y. Speaking of old and curmudgeon-y, what are you working on, Paul?
Curmudgeon-y?
Older.
Getting curmudgeon-y?
Older.
No, Gretchen, I'm going to put you back on mute.
I know. I knew it.
Yep.
Anyway, welcome
I
back,
will
by the way.
speak.
You've been on the road
Thank-
for the last little bit.
Yeah, a month. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Came home and the lawn was like 14 inches deep, and it was crazy. It was bad. The dog
is
went
psycho.
outside and looked at it and said, "Are you kidding? I'm going to get lost."
Man, Paul C., I know you're back there somewhere. If you can today...
I'm here if it works.
Oh, yeah, it works. Hold on. I got to add you. I can see you but not on the ecam. There it is. There's Paul.
You may want to put an air tab on your dog, Gretchen.
So you can find the dog in all of that grass.
Well, we got it mowed down finally.
Super funny.
Poor Bob.
Paul C., are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, there you go. Listen, if you can today, pop into class in like an hour, because I got some cool stuff that you're probably going to get a kick out of.
Well, I'm really interested in. I watched your Zoom a couple of days ago interview you did, and this technology has really got a use for my end of the stick, shall we say?
Yeah. Oh, dude, the motorcycle camera video is sick, by the way. Very good work. Good work
that was
there.
That was my first go, mate. So give me a little bit of space with that. I just
Did
had
you
to have a go.
send it to Luis too? No, I'm saying it's good. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. You should
Well,
send it to Luis. He'll get a kick out of it as well. All right, gang. Listen.
At least my camera didn't go down the road.
All right, gang, listen. We did enough playing around today. I want to go coffee it up and have a food before we get to class. I got some cool stuff to show folks that are in the class. We're talking about class. We're talking about the Discord group. We do have a Discord group where, we hang out and we do things. And then in an hour, I'll be meeting the Gold Group members, and we're going to go over their process and see where AT is doing in her 75 hard life, and see what Aubrey and Gretchen and Luis and all the guys in the Gold Group are working on. And I'm going to teach them some new stuff that I learned this week, which is freaking phenomenal. But if you want to be down, you want to hang out, you could always join the Discord. And you can also join a membership through YouTube as well. Unfortunately, Discord and YouTube kind of semi-play nice, but not fully. So I can't get rid of one or the other. So I just added both. And, that's a good way to be part of the community. And, be looking at this space pretty soon, because on the old Fourth Wally shop, I will be dropping those Doc Pops very, very soon. Luis, the cone kit is coming today. I tried product photographicating with the old Orange Monkey thing that I had, and it's horrible. Like, product, the plastic started to yellow a little bit just because of the type of plastic it is, and it completely messes up the coloration, so I quit. I just let me just get these cones. So I think they're coming tomorrow, which would be cool. It'd be something to test out. And then if it still doesn't work, then I got to drag June into the process and get a lot of yelling, which is going to suck. So anyway, we'll see you guys.
Thanks, Doc.
Tuesday. This was good. Everybody in the Zoom, thank you guys for coming in and hanging out. See, I knew it. It's hard. I didn't tell you yet because I want to hear all of the yelling and screaming and you being dad. I don't have to have him yelling at me anymore. So I didn't tell you yet. Anyway, never mind our family drama. I will see you guys on Tuesday. I love you. Peace out. Class, I'll see you in an hour.
How I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, city of mine. How I love the city of